Thanks for tuning in to the Mr. Show. I Red Pill Rickster. Doing it big, doing it live, doing it right. Conversations that add value. Tune in to my channel on Instagram, King Turbo Canada. And let's get right into the show. All right, so this show right here is going to be original Mr. Matt Walsh. And he's going to talk about one of my favorite topics on here. If you follow my channel at all, you know I like to talk a lot about the body count. So many reasons why the body count's so important. But we're going to have a good, fulfilled conversation about that. And it's not just a matter of, ew, you're gross, which it is gross. But it's a lot of psychology behind why it's not good for a woman to have a high body count and expect to be in a long-lasting marriage and relationship, all right? So, Mr. Matt Walsh, let's get right into it, man.
Bruh. One of the obsessions of the worst parts of this group, call them the influential jerk web, is body count discourse, in which women, always women, are shamed for the number of sexual partners they've had. The phrase has gained popularity so quickly that Jason Derulo has just released a new song about it. Now, Derulo is okay with a high body count. Quote, all that ass must be good at math, he observes, but others are not. Quote, a lot of the world's problems could be fixed if women walked around with their body count on their foreheads, the professional kickboxer turned sexist influencer Andrew Tate said in one viral clip. These men provide Gen Z and younger millennials with a very old template of masculinity filtered through the new visual grammar and vocabulary of YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok.
Right.
Now, she goes on for a while longer talking about all the dastardly men who have made it.
Hold on a second here. I have a clip. I have a video within my videos that is about wearing your body count on your forehead. And it could solve all the problems if these people just wore the body count on their forehead. It's hilarious, yo. A lot of world problems could be fixed if women walked around with the body counts on their forehead. Andrew Tate, shout out. Seen Gen X, and Gen Z, and the new millennium, the very newest one. They live, yo.
And younger millennials with a very old template for masculinity filtered through the new visual grammar and vocabulary of YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok.
All right.
Now, she goes on for a while longer talking about all the dastardly men who have made an issue out of the fact that a certain significant preponderance of modern single women have had sex with entire stadiums full of men. But she does find a bright spot, a glimmer of hope towards the end. Quote, two other things are worth noting about the body count discourse. The first is that some people on the edges of the influential jerk web have consciously rejected its exhausting sexual monitoring of women. The left-wing streamer Destiny, for example, was raised Catholic but is now in an open relationship.
Holy free holy!
Raised Catholic but now, listen to me, man. You guys are killing me out here, yo.
Yes, if only more men could be pathetic, disgraced cuckolds like left-wing streamer Destiny. If only we could. If only that's what we could all. If we only could actually live in the world.
Yo, I think Destiny's that blue hair brethren, the one that's always talking up for the feminists. It's like he should have been I don't know if he's in the right skin. Let's just put it like that.
Helen thought we lived in before Elon Musk destroyed the illusion by lifting all the shadow bans. If only.
Right. Let's go.
Now, if you're the perceptive type, at least more perceptive than Helen Lewis, you might notice that although we've read chunks of this article, we haven't gotten to the part where Helen explains why men shouldn't care about body counts. And that's because she never does explain it. She makes not one single argument to support her assertion, but it is what it is.
Right.
And in some ways, this is maybe the best response to the other side of this discussion, especially because they're not making any kind of actual argument. When a feminist starts screeching that men shouldn't care about this, perhaps all we should say in response is, okay, but we do.
Simple as that.
Holy free holy!
No, okay, but we actually do, and it's either you like it or lump it, because this is what we care about, okay? So
deal with it. Like, we just do.
Right.
That's it.
Simple.
But this is a podcast, so I can't just leave it there, especially because there are many valid reasons why so many men do care about this and why the ones who don't or claim they don't should.
Tell us.
And first of all, it should be understood that the issue is oftentimes not just a woman's body count, but also her current attitude about her body count. So what is most revolting to a man?
Hold on. You hear when these women say that they're going to be born again virgins after they finish doing corn? That they're going to be born again.
A woman's body count, but also her current attitude about her body count.
Right.
So what is most revolting to a man is a woman who has slept with many men, and rather than repenting of those ways, instead has this attitude about it. Watch.
Why do you think men care about a woman's body count?
Not her.
Do you? People actually care about that?
Men in
Not
general.
her.
If a man is asking me my body count, he can get Who gives a Oh my god, that's so stupid. People actually ask that.
Yes.
Okay, well then
Clearly.
you're talking to the wrong man. If a man is ever asking about your body count, you're talking to the wrong man, and he can get like that.
Yo, obviously her body count is through the roof. I don't like her.
So, what do you think about the analogy? If one key can open many locks, it's known as a master key, as opposed to if you have a lock that can be opened by any key, it's a lock.
I think that if a woman is an analogy to you, then you're not ready to be talking to a woman, and you should.
What do you think her body count is? 70, 80? Because she seems a little adultish, yo. She seems a bit adultish.
Probably get so.
All right.
If a woman is the key to you, talk to your mom.
Okay.
Talk to your sister. Talk to your
Okay.
cousin. I don't know. Get a real life
Okay.
and get. Thank you. And a woman is not a key. Thank you.
She's hurt. Daddy issues and all that.
The man can get effed, she says repeatedly, and it's true that if the man's talking to her, he probably can, because
Right.
it sounds like she's probably doing a lot of that. Now, that right there is the absolute worst combination for a man. You have a woman who we can assume, based on her defensiveness, has had sex with a significant number of men,
Right.
and who, far from repenting of it, instead flaunts it proudly,
Doubles down.
defending it in that screeching, vulgar tone that men find utterly
Irritating.
disgusting, really.
Right. True.
Everything about the video is repulsive to most men. It's, in a literal sense, disgusting. It triggers our disgust reflex. So when a man hears that a woman has been with 25 guys or whatever, one of the very first things he will think is that the woman probably has herpes or something. And this is not an unreasonable assumption.
Exactly.
Now, beyond these practical and medical concerns, when a man hears that a woman is promiscuous, this will lead him to rightly question her loyalty. You know, if she has a habit, or maybe I should say her capacity for loyalty,
Right.
if she has a habit of jumping into bed with every other guy she meets, then he's going to worry that this low impulse control, this habit of following her carnal desires above all, will increase the likelihood that she'll continue in that behavior even after making a commitment to him.
Matt Walsh, just say it how you want to say it, bro. Say it, yo. Once a, always a.
So a man wants to be able to say about his woman
Right.
that it is unimaginable that she would jump into bed with some random guy she meets at the gym or whatever. Like, even if she was single, she wouldn't do that. That's what a man wants to be able to say, that even if she was single, she wouldn't do that. That's just, you're not that kind of person. But if the man knows that if she was single, she would do that, then the man will worry, justifiably so,
Right.
that she will do that even when she's not single. But even if she refrains from hooking up with random men while in a relationship with him, her propensity towards that behavior calls into question her morals and her values. A man wants a woman who is chaste, self-controlled, dignified, classy, and not just because...
Yo, question. If a girl starts doing OnlyFans, or she starts working the corner, so to speak, right? Taking off her clothes for money, doing sexual acts for money, how much responsibility goes on the parents? Or are the parents exempt from her bullcrap? Or does it have something to do with her brought up, seeing how she was grown in the house she was raised in? Like, because I mean, some girls just go off the chain and they come from good families. What is a good family? Interesting. Let's go.
Even if she refrains from hooking up with random men while in a relationship with him, her propensity towards that behavior calls into question her morals and her values. A man wants a woman who is chaste, self-controlled, dignified, classy, and not just because that makes it less likely that she's diseased, and not just because that makes it less likely that she'll cheat on him, even though those are two big factors, but also even more fundamentally because that's simply the right way to be.
Right.
A licentious woman is a disordered woman. It's a woman who does not have the value system that men admire and find attractive.
Whoa.
Now, it's a cliche perhaps, but a man really does want a woman that he can bring home and introduce to his mom. You know, when I first introduced my now wife to my parents years ago, my mom pulled me aside within about an hour of meeting her and said, "We really like her. She's great." Mm-hmm. And that's when I knew I wanted to marry her because...
Good advice. Good advice. All right.
And I'd only known her for a few weeks at that point. Mm-hmm. But when you get that kind of endorsement from the people in your life that you look to for advice,
right, and
they see this woman and they say, "This is a very good woman," that means a lot to a man. You ever read the fine print that appears when you start browsing in incognito mode?
Big up Matt Walsh, the great Matt Walsh. So body count has a lot of reasons why it matters, man. It matters so much. I mean, like, I recently learned off of, watching podcasts and some YouTube and some Google studies that, it lowers the ability to pair bond, and you're not able to stay with one partner for a long term, for life. And that's what marriage is about, right? Also, this high body count thing, I mean, like you said, bad habits, pretty much hard to break. Once a 304, always a 304, yo. And plus, the greatest prize, a man walks into the room with his woman on his arm. She's looking great. Everybody's looking at her. And nobody can say they've ever had her. That's the greatest prize. You walk in the room and every man's like, "Yo, I hit that last month. Oh, I used to hit that last week. Oh, I went out of town and hit that." Nobody doesn't want that. No man wants that. Body count is important, guys. Don't let these women say that you're insecure because you don't want her a large body count. Why doesn't a woman just say her body count out top when you ask, what's the problem? Because they know that it's shameful. You heard the term the walk of shame? Body count is shameful to a woman that has a high body count. Their age matters a lot. If you're in your 20s with a high body count, it's terrible. It's horrible. Horrible, horror, Yo. Thanks for tuning in to the Mr. Show. I Red Pill Rickster. I'm asking the ladies, keep your legs closed. Raise your standards. When your standards raise, men will raise their standards themselves to meet your standards. If I can just put DTF in your DM and I can get that cooch, what am I going to work for? What am I raising my standards for when your standards are low? Ladies, raise your standards. Big up. All right, Red Pill Rickster. It's a Mr. Show. Big up on a blood clot self, yeah? Oh, yes. Thanks for tuning in. Red Pill Rickster on the Mr. Show.